The final cut is a masterpiece. But the first draft is a war zone. This is between the frames. The Wizard of Oz is a film of seamless magic. Every song, every scene, every yellow brick feels inevitable, as if it could never have existed any other way. But there was once a moment, now lost to history, that almost altered the film's iconic rhythm. It was called the Jitterbug. Imagine, just as Dorothy and her friends creep through the haunted forest on their way to the Wicked Witch's castle, they're suddenly attacked by enchanted insects. The result? A frenetic swing-style dance number featuring giant animatronic bugs and some truly wild choreography. This wasn't just an idea. It was filmed, scored, and edited into the workprint. And then it was cut forever. This is the story of a missing piece of Oz, a critical decision made in a smoke-filled screening room, and how the ghost of a deleted scene continues to haunt one of cinema's most perfect films. Let's rewind to the bustling soundstages of MGM in 1939. The Wizard of Oz was already a behemoth production, plagued by multiple directors, on-set accidents, and a budget that was spiraling out of control, but ambition was high. The original script included the Jitterbug as a cunning trap set by the Wicked Witch of the West. As Dorothy, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion journey through the dark, menacing forest, the witch doesn't just send flying monkeys. First, she sends her secret weapon, a single, glittering insect, the Jitterbug. This bug bites one of them and its magical venom spreads, forcing them all to dance uncontrollably. It's a clever scheme, designed to exhaust them before they can even reach her castle. The sequence was conceived as a true technical showcase. MGM's artisans, already working wonders with Munchkinland and the Emerald City, were tasked with creating large, articulated puppet bugs that could interact with the actors. The choreography was complex and energetic, a stark contrast to the film's more classic musical numbers. It was a full-blown production piece, with Judy Garland and Ray Bolger taking the lead. Their frantic dancing filmed alongside costumed performers and the intricate puppetry. The song itself, written by the brilliant duo Harold Arlen and E.Y. Harburg, was a catchy, upbeat swing tune. The plan was clear: use this number as a moment of light, frenzied relief before plunging the audience into the much darker third act. It was shot in full, cost a fortune, and for a brief time it was part of the movie. So what happened? The pivotal mechanism that changed everything was a test screening and the sharp eye of a legendary editor, Blanche Sewell. In the late 1930s, test screenings were a brutal but essential part of the Hollywood machine. You'd bring in an average audience, show them a rough cut, and hand them comment cards. It was raw, unfiltered feedback, and studio heads listened. The reaction to the Jitterbug was complicated. The audience didn't hate it. In fact, many reportedly enjoyed the song and the sheer spectacle of it all. But they had a bigger problem. The film was already feeling long, pushing well over 2 hours, which was a significant runtime for that era. More importantly, the number landed at a terrible moment. The tension was building, the haunted forest was genuinely spooky, and the audience was on the edge of their seats, ready for the final confrontation with the witch. And then, suddenly, a dance party. It felt like a detour, a disruption that broke the narrative spell. This sparked a major creative debate back at the studio. Director Victor Fleming and producer Mervyn LeRoy loved the sequence. They were proud of its technical creativity and the performers' energy, but they couldn't ignore the screening results. The consensus, championed by Blanche Sewell, was that while the number was good, the film was better without it. The song was also considered less thematically resonant than masterpieces like Over the Rainbow, or less plot-critical than Ding Dong, The Witch is Dead. So, the painful decision was made. The reels containing the entire Jitterbug sequence were physically cut from the master negative. The film was restructured to flow directly from the haunted forest, talking trees and spooky owls, to the looming gates of the witch's castle. The removed footage, the expensive puppets, the elaborate choreography, all of it was shelved and stored in an MGM vault, just one more piece of cinematic history filed away. But the story doesn't end there. In a truly tragic twist, A fire at an MGM storage facility in 1965 destroyed countless archival elements from the Studio S Golden Age. Among the lost treasures was the only known complete print of the Jitterbug sequence. Today, all that survives are the audio recordings, a handful of production stills, some behind-the-scenes home video footage, and the original script pages. The scene itself is gone. The decision to cut the Jitterbug had a profound and immediate impact on the film's final form. First and foremost, it tightened the narrative and accelerated the pacing. Without that 5-minute musical diversion, the journey through the haunted forest becomes a direct, suspenseful path to the film's climax. The sense of dread and urgency is unbroken. This leads to the second major impact: tonal consistency. The Wizard of Oz expertly balances wonder, joy, and genuine fear. The Jitterbug number, with its zany, almost cartoonish energy, risked diluting the menace of the Wicked Witch. By removing it, her power feels more direct and threatening. Her final assault with the flying monkeys lands with much greater impact because it isn't preceded by a whimsical dance-off. And over time, the loss of the footage has created its own legacy. The Jitterbug has become one of cinema's most famous what-ifs, a piece of lost media that fuels discussion among film scholars and Oz enthusiasts to this day. It mythologizes the film, adding a layer of mystery to its creation. The incident also serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of film history, how easily priceless works of art can be altered, cut, or lost to time and accident, leaving only echoes behind. But here's the unsung insight from all of this. Sometimes, great editing isn't about removing flaws, it's about sacrificing something good for the greater good of the whole. This brings us to the actionable legacy of the Jitterbug. The principle here is one that every creator must eventually face: kill your darlings for the sake of the story. That musical number was creative, it was expensive, and it was lovingly crafted by a team of brilliant artists. By all accounts, it was a good scene. But it didn't serve the final film's momentum or its emotional arc. For creators in any medium, filmmakers, writers, musicians, designers, the lesson is powerful. Your attachment to a specific part of your work must never override the needs of the overall audience experience. The bravest, most impactful creative decisions often involve cutting something you love to make the entire project great. So, what are some other films, books, or albums that became better after a beloved element was cut? Let us know in the comments below. And for more stories from Between the Frames, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.